This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zio to Hero, the podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tales, a place you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by your host, me, Tai Tiger. Today we're diving back into Power Rangers Universe 113, and my very first story, Power Rangers Street Foundation. So, lately with Power Rangers Street Foundation, our Rangers have been shot across the multiverse and keep landing in other stories of mine, in other universes, thanks to CJ tinkering with a universe portal opener, which exploded and caused this event. Now we're going to find out what happened with CJ. So, if you're up to date, then let's dive in.
Welcome to Universe 113, a place where an old evil has continued its quest for ultimate power, starting by kidnapping previous Rangers and stealing their powers. But not all is lost, as a new generation of Rangers is born, bringing new life to the legendary powers that came before them. They are the new heroes of Earth. They are Power Rangers Future Foundation.
Power Rangers Future Foundation, Chapter 35. CJ lost in the land without time and space. CJ was engulfed in a blinding white light, and then it vanished, and CJ stood on what seemed like a floating flat rock platform. The sky was black and purple, and before her was a man with shaggy blonde hair and a pair of glasses on his face. He wore a big raggedy poncho, and he kept on staring at CJ in complete shock. Suddenly, another man landed next to him. This one had a shirt and nice trousers on, with spiky black hair. Hi? CJ said awkwardly. Yo, who's the girl? The second guy said to the first. It's CJ from Universe 113, the first man replied. How do you know my name? CJ asked, still confused. This must be very confusing for you, the first man sighed. Who are you? What is this place? CJ barked. My name is William Cranston, and this is a small, deserted dimension, known as the land of time and space, the first one said. Hey, maybe next time, the second one started, but was interrupted by William punching the second guy in the shoulder. Then William dragged him away and started barking at him in a hushed tone. Listen to me, CJ should not be here. It's very dangerous. She's my lifeline, William snapped. Oh, dude, you are so screwed. The second one hissed with a chuckle. Get back to your rock and contact the Purple Ultra Ranger. She's training my task force. Get her to open a portal now, William barked. The second guy then nodded, waved at CJ, and then did an almighty powerful jump and landed on a rock further up, away from CJ. CJ then turned to William. Did you say Purple Ultra Ranger? CJ asked. Yes, from Universe 19. William nodded. I know the Ultra Rangers from Universe 19. They don't have a purple one, CJ blurted. Actually, they do, but she's just unknown. You're a funny little person in person, CJ. Aren't you scared? William asked. No, I can protect myself, CJ muttered. I'm sure you can, William grinned. What do they do? CJ asked, pointing at the strange crystal-looking monitors floating before a chair. They are portal monitors. Allows those who summon them to view whatever they wish, William explained. And what do you view? CJ asked. Universes. I watch universes. I need to keep an eye on them, William explained. Why do you watch universes? Who are you? CJ barked. Okay, you really want to know? Fine. I'll show you, William sighed. Then he gestured CJ to follow him. She was led across the platform and was presented with several large chessboards. CJ walked around the set of boards and gazed at each one of them. She stopped at the one and ran her fingers at the number carved into it. 113. That's my universe, CJ muttered. That it is, William nodded. CJ picked up one of the chess pieces. It was white, with half black, half silver, and the head of a mammoth and a wolf on it. This is Dante, CJ stated. Correct again, William replied. How do you know who Dante is? CJ barked. I've been watching you and your team for a while, William said. And these other chessboards? CJ asked, pointing at the multiple chessboards. Other universes, William replied. Why? Why are you watching universes and playing chess to represent them? CJ asked him. Oh, I have my reasons, William said as he turned away and looked away. CJ walked up to him. She placed her hand on his shoulder and spun around. Something tells me you spent a lot of time here alone, Well, other than him, CJ said, nodding upward. You would be correct again, William nodded. Why don't you just tell me? I'm curious, CJ said with a smile. You are curious, aren't you? William chuckled. CJ nodded and William picked up a chess piece. There will one day be a tragic event. Multiversal. And it will need heroes and villains, people to stand up and fight a war. There are a few of us, going around the massive vast multiverse of multiverses, and our job is to watch, investigate, and allow those we deem worthy to fulfill their prime destinies. And then we collect them and ask them to help. They become our champions, William explained, air quoting the word champions. So, what about him? CJ said, tilting her head back up to the other rock platform. Takeshi. And yes, he deals with Kamen Riders. William said. Wow, so Dante, Chloe, and the rest of them are going to be part of your champions? CJ stated, also air quoting the word champions. Yes, and those on the inside as well, William said. The what? CJ snapped with a raised eyebrow. Oh yes, you don't know about that, do you? William grinned. William then grabbed CJ's hand and pulled her to the portal monitors. Then they both sat down and William started waving his hands. And one of the portal monitors grew bigger and got closer, and it played a sequence like a movie. So your universe has a magic veil separating the universe into two halves. One half is positive, the other half is negative. Well, about 12 or so years ago, it made the veil, it got turned into a barrier, becoming solid matter of energy, blocking the two halves from another. Earth is one of the planets that got cut in half via this barrier now. So it got split, William explained as the portal monitor showed CJ Earth in Universe 113. But I've been to Tokyo and London. I've been all around the world. I don't see any barrier, CJ said confused. True. It's like two Earths spinning at the same time. Both of them are the exact same thing, but one is positive energy and one is negative energy. So they exist at the same time in space. The veil, this barrier, it keeps universes from being one whole thing. Earth is cut in the middle. So it's like it's got two personalities. Does that make more sense? William asked. Yeah, I think so. I can't believe it. How do we solve this? Fix it. Save my universe, CJ asked. I have the power, but I cannot get involved in these sort of things. I cannot mingle. William hushed. 'Cause you'll have to change the balance of things. Okay, I got you. CJ sighed. You seem to understand all this very easily, CJ, William stated. Yeah, I guess I do, CJ shrugged. CJ stood and walked over to the chessboard once again and picked up the chess piece resembling a ranger in Universe 35. William stood and walked over to her. So, couple questions, CJ said. Fire away, William replied. How many universes are you watching? CJ asked. 12, 13, William fired back. Are any of them Ultra Rangers? CJ asked. No, they require their own champion collector, but I do have 2 teams of Ultra Rangers in place to protect the universes when I collect my Power Rangers. William fired back. How many collectors are there? CJ asked. A lot. I do not have a straight number, William said. Do you guys have a boss? CJ asked. Yes, William nodded. Okay, one more. Where are you from? CJ asked. Well, I'm from a different universe. This body of mine, it isn't mine. My soul inhabits it. It's from a universe similar to yours, but that universe is no more, William said sadly. What happened? CJ asked with a small sad expression. Someone went a bit crazy and summoned a black hole and it swallowed the whole universe, William stated. Ouch, CJ muttered. William then clocked Takeshi leaning over the edge of his platform, signaling William to join him. CJ, my dear, please bear with me. William chuckled. Then he super leaped up and joined Takeshi. CJ walked around the rest of the platform. There was a bed, a crafting table with lots of wood. A small device was placed on another table. She leaned over the edge of the platform and she gazed at something big, which moved ever so quick. She then leaned a bit too far and she rolled off the platform. She screamed as she fell through the void and she landed on another big rock. She grunted and found her glasses on the floor. She grabbed her glasses, stood up and placed her glasses back on her face and started to dust herself off. She looked around and saw more empty void. She then caught sight of something, a Megazord, red and black and white, with its visor connected into points similar to horns, or a helmet. It was flying straight at her. CJ panicked and started running away. The Megazord crashed onto the rock platform. It climbed to its knees and then raised its fists. CJ turned around to see the Megazord swinging for her. She then stumbled and fell to the ground. She looked up, covered her face, and waited for the Megazord to squash her. Then suddenly, William landed in front of her, and a glimmer of light wrapped around him, and he morphed into the Black King Chest Ranger. With a massive greatsword, he swung his sword and it collided with the massive Megazord fist. Then the Ranger pushed the fist back and sent an energy wave from the sword which hit the Megazord's chest. The Megazord stumbled back and then fell forward and crashed on the ground. The dust cleared and the Ranger demorphed, and William helped CJ up to her feet. "You must be careful," William stated. "Why is there a Megazord here? Why did it attack me?" CJ barked. "It is not a Megazord, not in the sense you're thinking," William replied. "So what is it then?" CJ snapped. "The Morphing Masters. When they decided to use the Morphing Grid to make Power Rangers, they got inspired by another group of spandex, colourful heroes with weapons and human machines. They called themselves Sentai. Superheroes, Asian of origin. There is no way to find out the cause, means, or otherwise that made the Morphing Masters copy the Sentai, but they did. Sometimes it's identical, other times they make alterations. But the Sentai have locked their selves away now. They keep themselves to themselves. Not even the Morphin Masters bug them," William explained. "You've got to be kidding me." "Really?" CJ blurted in shock. "I am sadly not," William said with a small smile. Then suddenly the Megazord started to move again. It shifted its hand as it raised its head and looked at the two. It tried to slam its hand down on top of them, but all of a sudden CJ moved with lightning speed. Her eyes started glowing white and raised her hand, and a burst of white light escaped her palm, which exploded into a bursting wave, which blasted the Megazord back so hard it flew off the rock platform and fell back into the void. CJ's eyes returned back to normal, and she looked at William confused but also very focused. "What is it?" William asked. What? How did I do that?" CJ asked back. "Well, William muttered. Then he grabbed her, jumped back up to his original platform, taking them both onto his home platform once again, making sure that they were safe. CJ then bolted back to the chessboards and picked up one of the chess pieces. Then she picked up another one from a different board, and she held both the pieces ever so tightly. "Ozzy from Universe 35, Stacy from Universe 101, CJ stated, then placed both the pieces down. "Yes, that is correct," William muttered, watching CJ with a keen eye. "Before, when you're talking to Takeshi, you call me your failsafe. That is what you meant, right? This is how I know stuff. I'm being downloaded with some of your memories, slowly filling my head, and I don't get it," CJ explained. "Oh, damn it, I see," William sighed. "How am I remembering things that you did? I see things that you've done. I know about you helping Haley in Universe 19, the purple and gold Zord, right? I know about your partnership with Shinon in Universe 19 too. Your Silver Morphing Master is human. I know you caused the events in Universe 35, and the list goes on," CJ yelled out. Okay, calm down. Yes, you may have been gifted with some of my memories of this vessel. I do not understand how, though, but I can tell you why. Lifeline. It means if this body was to fail and perish, my soul would take over yours. Your body would morph and adapt and change back into, well, me. Then I would be able to continue my quest," William explained. "It's hard to cipher through them all, but I think I understand," CJ muttered. "Why aren't you angry? Or losing your mind?" William asked CJ. I don't know. "I understand. I also feel your emotions." "You're scared. Terrified, even. You act like this big hotshot all the time, Mr. Know-It-All. But truth be told, you're petrified. The worst is you don't know what to be more scared of. Sparks, your oh-so-powerful leader, failing all these universes, or the things that the champions are needed for," CJ said with a complete straight face. William walked up to CJ, got right up close to her face. In breathing distance. "Do not start on me, young lady," William muttered. Oh, please, I know I have a ranger form. Wait, I have a ranger form! CJ gasped. Then she stormed up to Universe 113 and picked up Dante's chess piece. Dante has 2 power sets. Luca has 2 different sides of the universe, positive and negative. 1 Time Force Blue, 1 Quantum Ranger. Explain, I'm trying to figure this out, but help me, CJ ordered. When the veil became a barrier, there were 5 babies that were split into 2 different beings, 1 positive, 1 negative. All 5 were somehow linked to the morphing grid. I used that as a test to see if I could somehow make it so that people could have 2 separate powers at the same time, but unlike those of, let's say, Super Mega Force or having a Master Morpher, William stated. So you'd actually have 2 Ranger powers in one body. But how did Dante get his? CJ asked. The negative side's Dante gave up his powers. He gave them to the Wolf Wild Sword, on the positive side, William said. And it gave them to Dante. It wasn't a gift or a reward. The Zord thought it was returning it, ZJ blurted. Precisely, William noted. Suddenly a portal opened. What's this? CJ asked, walking closer to the portal. Ah, it is your way home. Aisha, the Purple Ultra Ranger from Universe 19, is waiting for you on the other side, William said. Oh, okay. Cool, I gotta go home, CJ muttered. William raised his hands, his eyes slowly turning white, when CJ held her hand out, which stopped William. Before you wipe my memory, I want to help. Champions, all of it. But I also think you need someone on the battlefield, so to speak. Maybe someone that you can trust, but other people can trust. Maybe it'll help them trust you just a little easier. I can help you. It's not nice being alone. You're almost smiling there. I don't want to forget this, CJ said sadly. William turned around and took a deep breath. I must be losing my mind, or I'm being tortured. Maybe I actually did get killed by that mecha. I don't actually know. Intriguing. If she remembers, I could put my neck out. But again, having someone on the ground could be useful, William muttered to himself. William then turned back to CJ. Fine. Do not make me regret this, William stated. Of course, CJ said. Then they shook hands and CJ turned back to walk towards the portal. Oh, before you walk away, I think it was a good idea the Morphing Masters did change a few things from the Sentai, William said. Why is that? CJ asked. Gold and Ninja Steel. Yeah, the person who they got the idea from, his morphing sequence is slightly different, and his morpher is a cheeseburger, William said with a raised eyebrow. CJ laughed. Her laughter turned into a chuckle, and then she walked through the portal and headed back to Universe 113. Takeshi jumped down and landed next to William as the portal closed. Thanks, William muttered. No problem, but you know Sparks is gonna so kill you, Takeshi grinned. Yeah, let him. He's gotta go through you, Pocket, Ace, Edge, and Cordis first, William barked. Then William stormed off, sat down at his desk, and he pulled out his diary and added another page into it. Then he went to his crafting table and added a new chess piece. A gold chess piece with a crown on it. He walked it over to the chessboard for Universe 113 and placed it down. Welcome to the team, CJ. William sighed. Then he contemplated his decision to allow CJ to remember the last few hours. And there you have it, guys. This would actually be one of the most important chapters to Power Rangers Universe 113. William Cranston is the character amongst all my Power Rangers storylines, all my main ones anyway. He is such a crucial part of the story. If you want to understand the mysteries, which are the champion collectors that William mentioned, then you can go check out Tiger Tail's Mysterious Origins, because that's the start of that. Also, you can check out William Cranston's kind of like prequel, but also sequel. It's kind of just the explanation of him on Tiger Tail's The Lost Stories, as this is the story that explains William at its best, called The Diaries of William Cranston. Make sure you check out the 3 Ranger Bros. There is Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger, with his Nerds Through Comics podcast, where you'll find comic books adapted to audio dramas with voice actors and the lot, and also you have his universe, Power Rangers Universe 20, with his own original Power Rangers storyline. Then you have Willie or Cosmo 637 with Power Rangers Universe 19, where you'll find Power Rangers Universe 19, which is the host of all Power Rangers and Kamen Rider stories written by him. They are both featured not only in the last couple chapters, but also featured in William Cranston's plans. Make sure you go check out the rest of the multiversal hopping arc that we've just done, because you'll find stories in Universe 20 and Universe 19. A big, huge shout out to the Zero to Hero Network. A big, huge shout out to the Author's Crown, If You Give a Dad a Podcast, and the Tiger Nexus podcast. Then, of course, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out Tiger Tales The Lost Stories, Tiger Tales Game Over, and Tiger Tales The Mysterious Origins, 3 other YouTube channels where you'll find stories and fan fictions written and read to you by myself. There's lots of different stuff, all different storylines, and original stuff in there as well. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and thank you all for tuning in, of course, and I shall see you guys real soon.